Good day. Welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Matu Okwemitorishe, and here are the headlines. The Asagba of Asaba finally endorses Anioma State as he applauds Senator Nwoko's legislative drive. Dr. Ogenesibe affirms APC extinction visible in Delta State. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project Serap sues Tinubu as Wabara condemns Fubara'S suspension. Nigeria to host maiden edition of International Civil Service Conference. Adedimeji Lateef, Uzo Arukwe, Chioma Chukwuka, others nominated for AMVCA 2025. Federal government seeks $6.25 billion annual investment to bridge housing deficit. Trump looms over Canada's election as campaign begins. Amol declares maximal points against Zimbabwe with great results for Eagles. Now the news in detail. Senator Ned Munir Nwoko, representing Delta North Senatorial District, has received high praise and endorsement from the Asagba of Asaba, His Royal Majesty Obi Professor Epiphany C. Azinge, for his impactful performance in the Senate and his unwavering pursuit of the creation of Anioma State. During a visit to the monarch's Abuja residence on Saturday, the Asagba extolled the senator's legislative prowess, bold leadership, and exceptional commitment to the interest of the Anioma people. Welcoming the senator, the Asagba described him as one of the most proactive and effective lawmakers in the current Senate, noting his impressive legislative output within a short period. Commending Senator Nwoko's leadership in agitation for Anioma State, the Asagba declared that the senator has repositioned the issue at the center of national attention through his tenacity and drive. In response, Senator Nwoko reaffirmed that Anioma State is to be carved solely from the 9 local government areas of Delta North, aligning with the original vision of the region's forefathers. Director General, Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau, Dr. Fred Latimer Ogenesibe, has said that the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Delta State is collapsing instrumentally as a result of massive defections rocking the party in recent times, coupled with internal petty squabbles. Dr. Ogenesibe made the assertion on Saturday while speaking to newsmen at the inauguration of the executive members of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, Udu Federal Constituency PDP Forum, which took place at Oshari C Primary School in Ughelli North local government area. The political base of Senator Ovie Omoagege. He said Delta State is now the 4th largest economy in Nigeria as a result of Governor Oboyewori's hard work, prudent management of resources, transparency, accountability, leadership, pointing out the governor is daily fulfilling his campaign promises, which is why the people love and trust him. They want him to continue till May 29, 2031. The bureau chief noted with the defection of over 2,000 APC members, including DPAN members to the PDP in Ughelli/Udu Federal Constituency and Orogun Town, coupled with thousands of APC members that defected in Delta North, Delta South, and other local government areas in Delta Central. The major opposition party is now in the state of contamus across the state. He noted further the overpriced and the overblown leadership of Senator Ovie Omoagege. APC has now been led to rest as we navigate into 2027 general elections. A former Senate President and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Adolphus Wabara, on Sunday faulted President Bola Tinubu's decision to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. In a strongly worded statement on Sunday, Wabara insisted that Tinubu's actions violated the fundamental principles of Nigeria's constitution and called for immediate reversal. The development comes as the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project Serap filed a lawsuit against Tinubu, challenging the legality of his decision. The president on Tuesday, March 18, 2025, slammed the state of emergency in Rivers State and suspended Governor Similaye Fubara, Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odo, and members of the State House of Assembly. Defending his action, the president insisted that the state was drifting towards anarchy due to the frosty relationship between Fubara and Martin Amawe, led assembly members loyal to former governor and minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wilson Wike. However, many Nigerians, including the opposition members and PDP governors, former President Goodluck Jonathan and the Nobel laureate Professor Wale Soyinka, commended what they termed as unconstitutional order in Rivers State. Wabara, in a statement he issued on Sunday, described the decision as unconstitutional and a grave assault on democracy. Thank you, Lord. Nigeria hosts the maiden edition of an international civil service conference as part of activities to mark the 2025 Civil Service Week. The event aims to strengthen the capacity and effectiveness of the public sector through global dialogue and collaboration. The head of civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson Jack, made the announcement while inaugurating a 25-member local organizing committee (LOC) tasked with coordinating planning, execution, and overall management of the conference. She further highlighted the pivotal role of the civil service in driving policy implementation and national development. Aligning with President Bola Tinubu's vision of building a modern, effective, and citizen-centered civil service. The conference is expected to foster innovative solutions, share best practices, and strengthen Nigeria's position as a leader in public sector reforms. Wilson Jack also announced that President Bola Tinubu has accepted to declare the conference open. The event is anticipated to draw participation from high-profile personalities and experts from countries renowned for their exemplary public service systems, including the United Kingdom and Singapore. The organizers of the African Magic Viewers' Choice Award (AMVCA) have announced the nominations for the 2025 edition. The annual awards recognize excellence among filmmakers, actors, and content creators who have made remarkable contributions to the industry over the past year. The 2025 nominations include Nigerian actors Uzo Arukwe, Adedimeji Lateef, and Chioma Chukwuka. Adedimeji Lateef is nominated for Best Lead Actor following his performance in Lisabi, while Uzo Arukwe has received a nomination for Best Supporting Actor for Suspicion. Actress Chioma Chukwuka secured a nomination for Best Lead Actress for Seven Doors. The full list category showcases the best performances so far: Best Multi-Choice Talents Factory, Best Scripted Mnet Original, Best Indigenous Language West Africa, Best Indigenous Language East Africa, Best Indigenous Language South Africa. Now on the business news. The federal government has revealed that Nigeria requires an annual investment of $6.25 billion to address the country's housing deficit, estimated at over 28 million units. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, disclosed this recently at the Renewed Hope Housing Public-Private Partnership Summit held in Abuja. Dangiwa emphasized that despite numerous housing policies and strategy papers, inconsistent implementation, lack of political will, and poor coordination have hindered progress in the sector. The minister highlighted that to bridge the housing gap and meet the rising demand, the country must deliver 500,000 housing units annually over the next decade. He further noted that over 70% of Nigerians' 43 million housing units do not meet basic standards: habitability, safety, sanitation, accessibility, and infrastructure. However, he urged that the scale of investment, a necessity, a collaborative strategy involving both the government and the private sector. Now on the foreign news. Canada's newly appointed Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has called a snap election, sending the country to polls on 28 April. The election comes as Canada faces a trade war with US and calls from President Donald Trump for it to become the 51st American state, issues which are expected to be top of mind for voters. It also comes 9 days after Carney, a Liberal, was sworn in as Canada's Prime Minister following Justin Trudeau's resignation. Carney now faced Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, whose party had been leading in national polls since mid-2023. Through recent polls suggest the race is now side by side. Speaking in Ottawa on Sunday, Carney said he needed a clear, positive mandate to deal with Trump. The Liberals, once written off for this election, now have a chance of forming a government for the fourth consecutive time under Carney. Now on the sports news. Former Nigerian international Fatia Amo says he's confident the Super Eagles will overcome Zimbabwe in Tuesday 2026 World Cup qualifiers at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Nigeria heads into fixture on the back of a strong 2-0 away victory against Rwanda, with Victor Osimhen delivering a stellar performance, netting both goals. However, Amo, in a chat with colorsports.com, stated the players must not underestimate Zimbabwe but approach the game with a winning mentality. Now a recap on our headlines. The Asagba of Asaba finally endorses Anioma State as he applauds Senator Nwoko's legislative drive. Dr. Ogenesibe affirms APC's extinction visible in Delta State. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project Serap sues Tinubu as Wabara condemns Fubara'S suspension. Nigeria to host maiden edition of International Civil Service Conference. Adedimeji Lateef, Uzo Arukwe, Chioma Chukwuka, others nominated for AMVCA 2025. Federal government seeks $6.25 billion for annual investment to bridge housing deficit. Trump looms over Canada's election as campaign begins. Amo declares maximum points against Zimbabwe will be great result for Eagles. That's the news as detailed by Timiola Emanuela. I am Matu Okbamitorishe. Thanks for watching.